Another real piece of synchronicity for me this weekend is the pleasure of hearing Marilyn read just now. It was amazing, and thank you very much. When I was young, I once played Gabriel Dumont in an opera. Yeah? And his story has stayed very close to me. And a couple of years ago, I was playing a concert in Cornwall, Ontario, a beautiful place, little theater, and an old couple walked into the theater, and it was way before showtime. They were the only ones there, and they asked if they could sit down. I said, well, the show doesn't start for quite a while. And they said, well, it's so nice here, can we sit? And they looked at me, and the older man pointed to me, and he said, you are Métis. And I said, well, no, I'm not. And he said, you are Métis. And I said, well, have we met? Do you know me? And he said, no. And he didn't even know my name. He didn't know anything about me. And he said, well, what is your background then? I said, well, I do have some Cree in my background. And he said, what else? I said, well, mostly Scottish. He said, you are Métis. And I said, I had never thought about it to that point. And he had an old doctor's bag with him, and he pulled out of it. And he said, I have brought this for you, which is the Métis Ceinture de Flaché. So, and I said, I was very grateful. And I said, well, I will, the show's going to start in a bit. I will sing you a song that does speak to that a little bit. And I turned with this, and I turned around to tune up my guitar, and I turned back, and they weren't there. Yeah. So that's that story. And this story, I would have sung him this song if he had stayed. I think I need this for that too. I've been fascinated all my life with the fur trading lore along Hudson's Bay, and some of my ancestors are James Bay Cree. And when you worked for the Hudson's Bay Company, usually you were hired from Scotland or even the northern islands there because they figured the climate was so hostile there too that you might be able to do it. But in case you couldn't, you had to sign a contract that said you would work 7 years at least, because they knew they'd be all gone after the first winter. And you had to sign another clause that said you were not allowed to fraternize with the locals. And it turns out that if my great-grandfather had observed rule number 2, I would not be here. So this song is for him and for the mysterious gentleman that proclaimed my ancestry for me. When her people brought their furs to trade, I saw her by the palisade. Such a fair and a bonny maid, I swore I'd never seen. Well, the governor's a surly sort, he says he runs a proper fort. No man of his will e'er consort with the copper or the Cree. Now each night in my cold bed, such dreams of her fill up my head. And this poor boy from the Orkney Isles wakes up with a Chippewa smile. It was the company that brought me here. I was indentured to them 7 years. One more winter, I'll be free and clear. I should be off and awa. I used to dream my ship was at the pier, but all thoughts of home have disappeared. My only wish is to be near my pretty Chippewa. Now each night in my cold bed, such dreams of her fill up my head. And this poor boy from the Orkney Isles wakes up with a Chippewa smile. When the first October snowfall comes, I will bribe the watchman with some rum. For the west we both shall run, when our tracks won't show behind us. I know that she will be waiting by the fort's big wooden gates. There we will make our escape, and the governor won't find us. Now there's a misty ring around the moon, and it means the snow will be coming soon. And this poor boy from the Orkney Isles will wake up to a Chippewa smile. Now there's a misty ring around the moon, and it means the snow will be coming soon. And this poor boy from the Orkney Isles will wake up to a Chippewa smile. Thank you.